In fact, Treasury Secretary Bessent believes that just the stablecoin market could be 3.7 trillion compared to $250 billion today. That's exponential growth as we start to see Wall Street move things synthetically onto the blockchain. So what does that mean? Well, if everything's becoming digital, okay, you've heard a lot of people say, well, you want to find the digital store of value, the digital gold, which is Bitcoin. And that makes a lot of sense. That's what Fundstrat has been advocating for since 2017. That was more than 8 years ago. And in fact, Tireless Ken remembers when we first started writing about Bitcoin in 2017 and we said it would be institutionally adopted as digital gold, people ridiculed us. We lost a lot of customers actually because they thought we really lost our grounding to reality. But as you know, 8 years later, that's the narrative. Bitcoin is digital gold. Well, let's think about the next 10 to 15 years. Wall Street's going to build a market for digital assets. Now, for reasons I won't cover here, it's going to be on Ethereum because that's really where everyone is building this future. But the thing I want to highlight today is that Wall Street is going to build a market for digital assets onto the blockchain. So it's more than just dollars, it's everything. So think about this. There's two story arcs that are going to be the next 10 to 15 years why I think it's the biggest macro trade. The first is stable coins, the upward one. Stable coins, we're going to tokenize stocks. NASDAQ actually just approved that this week. We're going to tokenize credit, tokenize real estate. Maybe we'll monetize our reputations on the blockchain so we can value that. And we'll monetize intellectual property, which, as you know, is the largest component of CapEx today. So if you look at GDP data from BEA and you look at what they call private investment spending, the largest share of that is intellectual property. That is easily moved onto the blockchain. But then there's another story arc. If you're going to be able to digitize that information, you're going to monetize data collection, royalty streams, loyalty programs. As you know, that's a huge business, is the value of your frequent flyer miles. Then there's going to be agentic AI and things like proof of humanity. So that all is what you're going to see in the next 10 to 15 years. This is the biggest opportunity for Wall Street ever.